This video is brought to you by GuitarPronto.com. In this lesson we're going to be looking at the basic guitar scales that you need to know as a beginner. We're going to be focusing on the major scale. There are many different types of scales that you can learn. The three basic ones, however, are first of all the major scale, which is diatonic and has 7 notes, the minor scale, which is also diatonic and has 7 notes, and finally the blues scale, which is hexatonic and has 6 notes. There are many different places on the neck of the guitar that you can play these scales. We're going to be looking at the basic scale structure. And this structure doesn't change no matter what key you play it in. Okay, so in this lesson we're going to have a look at the G major scale. The G major scale starts on the 3rd fret, which is a G note. If you wanted to change the key that the scale is in, then you simply just change the fret that the scale starts at. So for example, if you wanted to play an A major scale, then you'd play the scale at the 5th fret. The scale we're going to have a look at in this lesson is the major scale. This is a diatonic scale, so it has 7 notes. We're going to focus on the G major scale, so the 7 notes for this are G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. For the G major scale, we start on the 3rd fret, which is a G note of the 6th string, and we work our way down, repeating the scale twice plus an extra note, so we end on a G note on the 1st string. Okay, so the notes, so we start on the 6th string, and the notes you need to play the scale. First of all, G at the 3rd fret of the 6th string, A note at the 5th fret of the 6th string, and a B note at the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and the C note at the 3rd fret of the 5th string, a D note at the 5th fret of the 5th string, E note at the 2nd fret of the 4th string, F sharp note at the 4th fret of the 4th string, G note at the 5th fret of the 4th string, an A note at the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, a B note at the 4th fret of the 3rd string, a C note at the 5th fret of the 3rd string, a D note at the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, an E note at the 5th fret of the 2nd string, an F sharp note at the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and a G note at the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And that's our scale done. Okay, so if you play the scale all the way through, it sounds like this. Practicing guitar scales is really good for hand coordination and strength. When playing the scale, you want to have as little hand movement as possible, so therefore you want to try and use all 4 fingers. Okay, you want to try working on speeding up the rate that you're able to play the scale. You also want to learn how to link the scales so you can play them up and down the fretboard, and this will be really useful when you start playing solos and start freestyling to music. Thank you for watching this video, and for more help, make sure you visit www.guitarpronto.com.